Well, that was ridiculous and annoying. So they didn't let me into the Social Security building. Shut up, car. So I'm at the Social Security building, by the way. I'm trying to see if I can get them to replace my Social Security card to mail me another one. So if you've been following all this stuff I'm dealing with, I was here on Monday afternoon. It's around the time I lost track of my daughter. I was here Monday afternoon, and I think I'm going to roll through the zone just to see if I see her. I'm not very optimistic about it, but as long as I'm here, I'm going to just drive through that way. But anyway, still no word from her. She hasn't reached out to me in any way. But now I got Priscilla blowing up my phone, telling me about things I should do about her car. It's like, it's not my car. Like, at this point, I mean, I don't want her to get her car impounded. I mean, I don't know. There's a part of me that kind of does, because I think the car is sort of enabling her. But that's a whole other separate tragedy. But oh, by the way, at the time I wasn't at Social Security very long at all, because they didn't really let me in. It's 12:13 p.m. That was so stupid. Some policies and places just are asinine to me. It's like, oh, no food in the building. It's like, I'm not going to eat. So I'm not going to eat it. I just told it in the bag. I said I can't leave it. I can't leave it in the car. It's 105 outside. So I can't leave it in the car. It'll turn into food poisoning. It'll spoil if I leave it in my car. And they're like, well, just go outside and eat it right now. I'm not hungry enough to eat it right now. I need to hold on to it until I'm hungry, and then I need to eat. But I can't leave it in the car. I don't have a refrigerator in my car. I tell you this, I'm not driving all the fucking way home and putting it in my refrigerator and then driving all the fucking way back here. That exceeds the cost of the burrito. But damn, if I'm losing the fucking burrito, I'll just have to come back here on another fucking day. And maybe I'll get lucky and I'll find my Social Security card between now and the potential then. Okay, I just got another text message. We got tents on the left, not on the right. Road closed sign for the alley. I wonder when they fenced off these alleys. I see alleys getting fenced off all over the place now. That's kind of a stand. Ooh, we got another burned out mattress on the left. That's classy. You know, an adult on a 20-inch bicycle is just never, it's never a good sign. No parking, 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. Okay, so I can park here. Those chains just seem like the weirdest thing. By the way, these are both houses on the right. For the person that replied to me on YouTube saying that nobody lives down here. There's no houses down there. There's houses in the zone. There's a house right there. There's a house right there. Those are people's residences. There's the mailboxes. I see 3 mailboxes, which tells me that house there is probably split into 3 apartments. People very much do live here. Now, I'm thankful that they don't have anybody camped, and they apparently managed to clear the spaces from these people's houses, so that's a good thing. Yeah, Priscilla responded. She's sending me text messages starting. She's like, have you considered reaching out to Donk to have keys made? That's a friend of mine that's a locksmith who could probably easily get into the car and have keys made. And I haven't looked into that because I'm not expecting him to do that for me for free. He's a professional locksmith and a very good locksmith. You know, so I don't have money for that. And Allison apparently doesn't have any money either. This is also having the car moved to your place to keep it from being towed. I don't have a problem with her parking it at my place, although at this point she'd have to park it on the street, I think. But, and I replied to that with, I've considered it, and after rent, I'm broke, and the one credit card I haven't misplaced is over its limit. And yeah, still nothing from Allison. Said, I believe she knows my number and called me without having her phone. She did from the hospital, and also she'll be able to take a bus to my apartment. Not like she don't know where I live. I said, anyway, she says, I can pay him, use AAA to tow the car, which, okay, I didn't know I could use AAA to tow her car, but the reality is I can't use AAA. I mean, I can use AAA to tow the car if I'm with her, but unless she is with me, directing me to tow the car, and I call AAA, that's stealing a car. And if she shows up at that car and it's not there, I'm sure the first thing she's probably going to do is call the police and report the car stolen. At least that would be the smart thing to do. Now, she's already reported that the car was broken into because the police were there with us Sunday night. So, but yeah, just make sure at the car and have them move it. Okay, does she have any money? At least you know of. And I said, she didn't seem to have any money at all on Monday. I said, I don't know where she is and it's not my car to move. And she said, okay, that. So she's probably not happy that's the reply. But the reality is, not my car to move. If I move that car without Allison with me, that's way too much risk of car theft or getting, you know, or theft of means or whatever, getting mixed up in that. And then potentially, yeah, I'm not getting mixed up in that. I mean, I would think her main focus would have been trying to get and secure her car. Like I can't slide her for wanting to take care of the glasses thing first because she can't see for shit without her glasses. I don't. There's another entrance into the care campus, the human services campus on the right there. And that door, that entrance to the right there, I didn't know that was an entrance there, but yeah, I can actually go in that entrance with my human services campus card. So this is the corner by the Andre house. Oh, somebody just passed me on the left. It's really difficult to drive through here because of all the riffraff in the street and all the fences. Wow, there's that lady again. Wow, that was the one I mentioned that I was on the train with, that some guy had got like in her face, and it's crazy how I keep seeing her. I can't find my daughter, but I keep finding that random woman. Yeah, she was the one that was riding I mean, she wasn't riding the train with me, but she was sitting near me on the train. And she kept looking at me, and I kept looking at her, and then I was chatting with this guy that worked at PHX7 right across the street from GR3 at Amazon. But yeah, I got off at 44th Street, and she kept riding, and I was just kind of curious. I wondered where she's going. Because I had saw her, like, it looked like she had checked in at the Cass Women's Shelter around 5:30 p.m. the next day. I think she's standing right there by she's standing right there by Andre house. It's crazy, I keep recognizing her. Do I find her attractive? Yes, I do. Take one past this way. Oh, look at the cute little cop car. I'm pretty sure that's parking enforcement, but every time I see those little cop cars, I just think of the cop car from Idiocracy. I mean, if that's the look they were going through, they nailed it. It looks like they've cleared off this area in front of that Electric Supply Inc. I saw some of those signs saying that nobody would be there. To me, these chains that the city put in are just the craziest thing. Imagine if they put that everywhere. No, that's just, it's almost like those chains on the poles are like an indication of you are in the zone. No, Phoenix marks it off. Oh, those are apartments up ahead on the right too. There are residential places down here. I almost rented one of those apartments when I was first getting off the streets like 15 years ago, and I'm glad I didn't. You know, maybe this is just my desperation sitting in, but I keep looking at one side or the other, and I see women that I find to be attractive down here. These structures through here, these are the most solid ones. CBI, that's one of the transportation companies that contracts with a lot of these help services. So yeah, that's the main entrance center. I forget what the hell it's called, but it's the one that the signs say to go to on the left there. On the left there, that's Circle the City. That's the clinic that I last saw my daughter at. Now the chains continue here on the other side of 13th Avenue, but yeah, on the other side of 13th Avenue, it's marked no parking on both sides, and there's no sidewalks. There's just the chains that go up to the front of the road and then go to pretty much all the way to like the fences around the historic cemetery on each side. And there are signs along there that says absolutely no camping. But yeah, even though it's got the zone chains here, I've never seen anybody camp there. Okay. That's kind of a questionable U-turn I made. I think it just made the guy in the Prius confused. Just noticing that facility on the left, it says ADOT Equipment Services. I didn't realize that was an ADOT property there. This is very much the government like area here though. But yeah, no, I've never seen people camp here, and I'm seeing some signs that say no sleeping, trespassing, no camping under order. It's funny how they got the chains here. But yeah, it always starts right here at 13th Avenue. Always has. Even like back when I was here before the Human Resource Campus was built. So we still got lots of tents and squatters and structures and stuff on the right side here of 13th Avenue, not on the left. And then there's that sub shop. The really heavy set chick that seemed a little offended by the fact I had porn on my phone. She was talking about how great this sub shop is. There on the left. I hope that guy doesn't pull into me. How great that sub shop is. It looks like it's open right now. I mean, the last thing I need is to eat more food or spend more money on food. I mean, I just left the Social Security office because they wouldn't let me bring my burrito in there. I said, I said I wasn't even going to eat it. I said, I need to keep it in the bag so it doesn't spoil. I said, I'm having enough trouble affording food right now. We'll just go outside and eat it. I don't know. That just seems like such an asinine thing. Like, no, I'm going to need to eat this when I'm hungry. Not now. Not healthy for me to eat it now while I am not hungry. It's just crazy how, government policies are just contradictive to good health. But yeah, no, they absolutely wouldn't let me in because of, well, you absolutely can't come in. You need to leave with that. Oh, well, I got some guy walking up and begging people at the red light. Just walking right up to their windows to beg. Right there at 7th Avenue in Washington. All right, and there we go. Now hiring. Phoenix PD, $7,500 hiring bonus. And have y'all seen the video that's been making the rounds? I talked to my mechanic Rob was over there, talking to him about it, and he said he's seen quite a bit of it. That's hit his feed. So yeah, about 8, 9 months ago, 10 months ago, something like that, there was a guy violently assaulted near the police union building, which I'm not really sure where that is, but this guy walks up to these officers that are stopped outside the police union building and says, hey, do you guys help people? Because there's some people over there that need help. And I think it looked like he was referring to some homeless people that were thirsty. And staying hydrated in Phoenix is a really important thing, which reminds me I should drink my water. It's probably pretty warm by now, but I still need to stay hydrated. That's important. Oh yeah, that is warm and foul. Yikes. Oh goodness. Yeah, no, that was not good at all. Yikes. Well, I wonder what kind of construction's going on here. Oh goodness. Ooh. Yeah, drinking hot water out of a plastic water bottle is not pleasant, but you know what? It will keep me hydrated. and I struggle with remembering to stay hydrated as much as I do remembering to eat. So anyway, yeah, this guy is asking, if the cops can help somebody. These people need some water, and do you help people? And the cop is kind of a dick to him about that, and he's kind of replies to the cop by being kind of a dick back. The bottom line is, it's not illegal to be a dick. It's not a nice thing to do, but it's not illegal. And the First Amendment definitely gives American citizens the right to express how they feel about cops to a cop. Well, this guy told the officer he was a fucking dumbass. And from everything I could see, that cop was actually a fucking dumbass. But yeah, so anyway, at that point, the cop literally attacks the guy and nearly snaps his arm. And there's some more footage where this cop was very violent to the guy, and he forced him to the ground, used a pressure point to put him in intense pain, and slammed his face into the hot pavement. This was August, so we're probably talking 115 degree, searing hot, dangerously hot asphalt that they're smashing this guy's face into, to force fingerprints out of the guy, which is crazy because it's against the law in Arizona to force somebody to give up fingerprints. Now, you can detain somebody and keep them in a holding cell for pretty much indefinitely if they're refusing to give fingerprints, if you created a situation where you need to be fingerprinted. But they cannot use physical force to get somebody's fingerprints. That is Arizona law. And these cops did it. It's all on their body cams. And Trump did some crazy trumped up charges. And the funny thing is, it went through the court system for 10 months. This guy ended up firing his lawyer because his lawyer didn't want to fucking defend him. He represented himself, and he apparently did a very good job of representing himself all the way to a jury selection. And right as the judge is ready to do a jury trial on charges of assault and interfering with police operations or whatever, the county attorney decided to just dismiss the case right there. I mean, then think of all the municipal resources used by that to actually put together a jury. All the court resources and shit. Like, wow, our tax dollars at work. I mean, and the cop that he called an asshole could have been there to protect and serve and just maybe given those homeless people some water. That would have been the humane thing to do. But the guy just wanted to be a dick, a condescending dick, which is well within his rights to be. All the cop had to do was, when the guy called him a dumbass, said, "Yes, sir, thank you. Yes, I am, thank you," and got in his car and drove off, and proceeded to not give a fuck. Like, the cop could have done that. But anyway, no, cost City of Phoenix, Maricopa County taxpayers an obscene amount of money as the county attorney tried to prosecute this all the way to a jury trial with a selected jury. Well, now the guy's suing the police and presumably the city. Now, of course, he's dealing with a whole lot of qualified... Ooh, there's somebody pushing a car over there on 7th Avenue. That's a rough day. It's rough when a car overheats and you got to push it in this heat. I don't see them now. Maybe they got it into the burrito place's parking lot. The El Ternero burrito place is wild. And that building right there, they can tell. If you look closely, you can see it throws off the alignment of the street because those properties still have easements that are beyond where the city wants the street to be. But apparently the city doesn't feel it's worth doing an eminent domain on. But it does make for a little pinch here. Oh yeah, they're pushing the car. They got it into the parking lot. I'm glad. I was actually going to go help them with that, but they got it. More scooters on the ground. That's kind of sad. But yeah, so this guy, I hope he wins his lawsuits, but it's just sad that ultimately, if he does get a fat paycheck, and I'm sure he's going to get a fat paycheck, that it's going to come functionally out of my pocket. It's going to be completely paid for by taxpayers because of judicial immunity. These prosecutors that never should have prosecuted that, they all have immunity. They're not personally liable for their decisions, and the police have qualified immunity, so they're not liable, even though I feel they should be criminally liable. I mean, if anybody, you or I, did to that man what the police did to that man, which they had no lawful right to do, it would be considered assault. And it would be a felonious assault. Those cops at the very least should have to deal with standing trial for their criminal actions against this man. And these are Phoenix PD. This happened right here. And then also, qualified immunity needs to end. It really does. And for people saying, well, that would be the end of law enforcement, because then cops would have to carry malpractice insurance. But guess what? All medical professionals and doctors have to do that as well. I mean, here's a good idea. Maybe don't do things that's going to result in a settlement. Don't do bad things, and you won't be financially responsible for bad things. And the shitty Circle K soda fountain strikes again. And I was... Shut up, car. I was actually all ready to renew my... I was going to get a drink and renew my Sip and Save right here. That was the plan. They got a sign up that asks people not to use excessive amounts of ice because it clogs the drain, and I noticed a lot of ice dumped into the drain, but probably the reason for that is because your soda fountain's all jacked up. I don't understand. By the way, just for those keeping tabs, that's 7th Avenue and Roosevelt. But yeah, I don't know why it is such a struggle. Why QT can keep immaculate soda fountains and Circle K just can't keep their soda fountains working to save their fucking lives. But Mountain Dew, first thing I went for was Mountain Dew. Just really craving a Mountain Dew right now. Did not work at all. Full stop, no Mountain Dew. And then I thought, well, it's really hot outside, so maybe I should get the pink brisk, which I think is like a watermelon tea cooler thing. I really like the pink brisk, even though I'm not sure exactly what it's called. I think that's a Circle K exclusive as well. But anyway, that one also not working at all. Like you push the click and just nothing coming out at all. So it's like, well, fuck it, I guess I get a Coke. But at this point I've learned that rather than waste the ice and dump out the ice, I've learned that Circle K is so horribly bad at maintaining their soda fountains that it's in my best interest to just take my finger and push the thing in and see what comes out. And so I tried to get Coke, and I like Coca-Cola. Fountain Coke is always, that's always a good fall. Generally not the first thing I go through, but sometimes it's what I want. It's always an acceptable fallback position, and it's one thing most people usually always have. But could really go for a Coke and a smile right now. And that was just spitting out carbonated water. No syrup, just straight, clear bubbly carbonated water. I'm trying to get a Coke. All right, we got an asshole passing on the right. Apparently he thinks this is the passing lane. Of course, that's all. When somebody passes you on your right, that's your sign that you probably should get over to the right lane, which I just did. Although I was matching the speed of the dump truck ahead of me, so anyway. So I'm looking at the other options on the soda fountain, and just like nothing else looks appealing to me. I thought about getting Squirt, and I'm just like, nah, I really don't want to Squirt. And then I noticed they had Cherry Coke. And God, I loved Cherry Coke when it first came out in the 80s when I was a kid. Like, that was my favorite thing for a while. So I remember going to like soda fountains and ordering a Cherry Coke, and they made Cherry Coke by fountain Coke and then mixing in cherry syrup. And I just loved that as a kid when I could go to a soda fountain that had where they'd make cherry Coke. So when cherry Coke became something you could just buy in a can or get in a soda fountain, like just, you know, like a regular soda fountain as opposed to somewhere where somebody mixes stuff, you know. Like that was a big deal. I don't know, say I was maybe 14, 15 when cherry Coke came out. You know, as something sold by the Coca-Cola company. It comes in cans and 6 liters and whatnot. And it could potentially be at a, you know, like a regular gas station soda fountain. But yeah, I think I'm just gonna go straight home. I've got a little bit of that blood orange left in the fridge, and my sister seems like she's trying to get to me. Or she said she's coming from like 35th Avenue to Greenway, which is impossibly far from where I live. And I wonder if she's gonna be able to make it to my place like before I have to leave to go for my interview at Domino's. Anyway, so yeah, I figured I'd try the cherry Coke. I could go for cherry Coke. It's not really my favorite thing anymore. It's a little too sweet for my taste these days, but what the hell, cherry Coke. And that just also spit out nothing but carbonated water. 4 different things that I like that I tried there. 2 not working at all, 2 just dispensing soda water. At which point I left my large cup that was half full with ice. I didn't dump it into the drain, but I just sat it there on the drain and left it. And I feel like that's a bad thing to do, but I mean, what am I supposed to do as a customer when y'all ain't maintaining your soda fountain to the point? I mean, at the very least, put out of order signs on the ones that are out of order when they become out of order. I mean, at least then I could have walked up and saw, well, damn, everything that I like is out of order. Everything I like is out of order. I guess I'm just not, I guess I'm gonna have to go on to someplace else to get a drink. And I don't know, apparently Circle K just can't seem to get with it with their soda fountain. On the bright side, hey, I just saved myself $10. So. Yeah, I'm gonna go home. The blood orange stuff that I have, brisk I have, is it's a little on the watered down side because there's quite a bit of ice in it that melted, but it's doable. Important thing is I gotta stay hydrated. What time is it? 12:43. Okay, my sister 6 minutes ago said, okay, we are 30 minutes away. Apparently my mom's rolling with it. That's nice. You know, it's part of me is really glad to see him, and part of him is just got so much anxiety about people these days. People at my place. So did I explain what all happened at Social Security? They just didn't let me in because I didn't have my burrito. Because I had a burrito, and they insisted that I go out in the parking lot and force myself to eat when I'm not hungry, which is just a formula for me getting sick. But they weren't. Like, I can understand them not wanting people to eat inside the building. Like, I get that, although I still think in a government office where you potentially have to wait for a long period of time, that they should allow people to eat. You know, just for God's sake, people just clean up after yourselves, you know? But I think they should allow people to eat. In fact, I was thinking as I was walking out, well, my God, what if I have a medical condition that requires that I be, you know, steadily consuming food, which I don't exactly have, but I mean, you know, what if? I mean, I know it's pretty normal for diabetics to carry a certain amount of candy with them, just in case their blood sugar gets low as a stopgap between going someplace where they can inject insulin. So I don't know, it just seemed pretty extreme rule to not allow food in the building whatsoever. And mind you, I mean, it's packaged, it's closed, it's in a bag. I told them, I won't take it out, I won't eat it here. I said, I can't leave it in the car or it will become toxic. was frustrating. So the form that I filled out on Monday, I think it said that I've got, like, that I need to just show up to a Social Security office to present my driver's license within 14 days. So that's fine. I can do it maybe after my Domino's appointment, or, you know, maybe tomorrow or the next day or whatever. It's not something I have to do right this moment. Maybe I'll get lucky and I'll find my Social Security card between now and then. Although I'm pretty much kind of coming to grips with thinking that's just lost. But oh, speaking of IDs and things that are lost, now it did cost me like $48, I think, and I did that out of my checking account. But oh, and Rob replaced the fuse, and the fuse did go for my radiator fan. While I was down there, Rob did replace the fuse. I expect it'll probably blow it out again soon. He thinks the problem is my fan. He thinks I should replace the fans. The fans are pulling too much current, which seems plausible. So, of course, he knows I don't have any money and he doesn't have any time, but I don't know. For the most part, I mean, sometimes he doesn't get my stuff fixed as quick as I like. Sometimes it's really put me out, but for the most part, Rob takes care of me on the car front. Contemplating parking on the street, so I could be in some shaded parking. You know, the more I think about that, the more that sounds like a good idea, because I am heading out. Nah, fuck it, I'll just put my sunshade up. Put my sunshade. So I gotta leave in, oh shit, I can't see what time it is. It's 12:47. See, I gotta leave in about an hour and head to the Domino's interview. I'm feeling really positive about this. I think this is gonna be an interview where I actually, like, get told when to, like, this is great, can you deliver pizzas tonight? And actually have some tips in my pocket by the end of the night. I mean, maybe not as quick as tonight, but I'm hoping to be actually doing some work within 48 hours that gets me paid, as opposed to just interviews leading to more interviews, leading to more forms, leading to wait for this or wait for that. Oh, and I'm not hearing back from that one recruiter about that one job that was for that one warehouse, the forklift driver thing that was supposed to be a graveyard shift for $19.50 an hour. I was hired, and I mean, I was under the understanding I was hired, had an interview and everything like 3 Fridays ago or 2 Fridays ago, but it was through a recruiter. And that's the one I talked about, where the woman had an Asian accent that was hard to understand, and it seemed kind of robotic, and it almost felt like she just had no idea what actually happens in a warehouse. But, you know, since she's an HR person, recruiter, professional, like, she's the one that's doing the interviewing. But yeah, it looks like I've been ghosted by that company. But yeah, I'm a lot more positive about Domino's Pizza, and I do believe this car is running plenty good enough that I can deliver pizzas at night. Actually, it didn't come anywhere close to overheating today. Now, Rob did replace the fan fuse when I was there, and that could have had something to do with that. But anyway, I'm gonna wrap this up and go inside. Wild seeing my sister and my mother, neither of which I've seen in a long time. I'm just really nervous about it. My place is pretty gross, and I haven't even told either of them what's going on with Allison. But you know, but yeah, I'm not losing a burrito or forcing myself to overindulge and get sick from overeating over a stupid policy. I can go back to Social Security later. It looked overly crowded anyway. Anything else I was trying to clarify on? Oh yeah, so I did manage to get a hold and talk to somebody at Social Security when I was at the mental health clinic. The benefits specialist wasn't really of much help, although she got me a phone number, but she pretty much just left me alone. And then, of course, by the time they answered, I was very confused as to what I needed to ask for and what I needed to do. I mean, to me, that's the whole reason that there is a benefits specialist. Like for the people who have mental health issues, it's supposed to be somebody to sit with you and guide you through that process. And to just say, oh, we'll call this phone number and then walk away from you. Oh, and you need to call it on your own phone. You know, like my phone has battery issues. Not Obamaphone 3 I'm recording off of, but my iPhone. At least put me in front of a landline phone that I can use. They don't even have that available for the clients anymore over at LifeWell. She's like, oh, I can't let you use my phone because I need to use my phone. Isn't you facilitating this call for me, you using your phone, isn't this part of your fucking job description? I didn't lay into her like that, but boy, I was thinking about it, you know? And then when I finally did get through to somebody at Social Security, it was very awkward because I don't really know what I'm asking for and what to do, and I'm very confused by all the processes. Now they're saying I owe the Social Security Administration money. Now miraculously, that didn't come out of my federal tax refund, thank God, but because God knows I needed every penny of that to make ends meet. But saying I still owe money. Although the woman I talked to, which was at the office here in town, the one I just was denied entrance to because I had a burrito that I didn't want to leave to spoil in my car, and I didn't want to force feed myself to eat when I'm not hungry. That's where she was at. Now she did say that I owe money. She goes, but if you put in a new claim, and she said there were some policy changes. She did actually admit that there were some people that lost their benefits due to COVID stimulus payments, and that they've made some adjustments to policy because of it. And it looks like I might have got lost in that policy shuffle, which is really whack. If there's any way for me to get back payment during that would be amazing. But yeah, apparently, oops, we made a mistake. Wonder how many people became homeless because of that. It's so fucked. The system is broken. It really is. But yeah, she said, you know, process a new claim. She said that yeah, they don't do that with walk-in appointments. You have to have a schedule. She said the closest appointment she could get me is August 9th. So I have an appointment on August 9th. But I never got 100% confirmation as to whether or not I got that. At one point, like, she was talking about like how I could expedite stuff on socialsecurity.gov or myssa.gov or something like that. And I told her that I'd had some problems with the website, that I wasn't able to recover my password, and they said they were going to mail it to me, but that if I got that in the mail, that I lost it, and that I have problems with the mail. And I'm trying to explain to her kind of how my memory. I told her, I said, look, the thing is, I get Social Security for a mental disability. And I'm trying to explain like kind of how that affects me as far as memory, and how these phone calls are very difficult for me because by the time I get through to somebody, I don't even remember why it is I'm calling, and that I need notes, but I struggle to make notes, and that the benefits specialist left me alone there without a pen. Well, anyway, one person gave me a pen, and that was very helpful. But eventually my case manager saw me, and she sat down and was there kind of coaching me and trying to help me. And she heard as I explained what my memory issue was, and the woman literally said like 3 words really quick and then hung up on me. It was almost like when I explained what that was, it was almost like the Social Security Administration worker was like, oh, this guy has a memory disability. Well, if I just hang up on him, his ass won't remember it. It seemed like that's what happened. And I might not remember that tomorrow, but I got it documented on my vlog today. But yeah, my case manager saw that happen. I said, did you just see that? Did that just happen? She's like, yeah. So that's crazy. I said, well, could you hear the other side? Just pretty much just hung up on you. I said, yeah, I just explained that I have trouble remembering stuff. I think she just hung up on me. I hope I wouldn't remember she hung up on me. My case manager did try really hard to get me onto the Social Security website. We were unsuccessful with that. The password recovery system for socialsecurity.gov is broken. Although I received the password at one point, or access to socialsecurity.gov account for Brittany. Remember Brittany, whose phone number I was given on Obamaphone 3? Yeah, so at one point I was able to get to Brittany's socialsecurity.com, but I've been unsuccessful in getting onto my own. the last time they said they were mailing me, like mail as in on paper in the U.S. mail, which of course, and I think that was probably in the midst of where my post delivery guy stopped delivering my mail, because there was a time period where I wasn't getting my mail because I kept forgetting to get my mail, and all my mail got taken to the post office, and most of that I never got back. And I mean, I had a bunch of my credit cards canceled over it because they were receiving that. So my credit card companies thought that they didn't have my current address, so I just canceled my cards. I'm like, no, it's my current address. I just have a fucking idiot for a mailman, an inconsiderate bastard for a mailman. Yeah, he actually put a sign on my mailbox that said vacant. So that's possible. That's where my socialsecurity.gov website password that was mailed to me, why not send that to my email or text message or something? Like, why do you guys think that's something that you should send in the fucking U.S. mail? You honestly think U.S. mail is fucking secure? Mail gets stolen and lost all the fucking time. Oh, Jesus Christ. But yeah, I never received that. Or if I did, I don't know where it is. I don't recall ever seeing that. Anyway, she couldn't get me on that website. She told me when I go there today to verify that I have that appointment on August 9th. But of course, I didn't know I was going to have it was going to be such a big deal that I had a burrito. Oh, I'm sweating really bad. I need to get my ass. Oh, damn, this phone is hot. It's not overheated yet. Well, the iPhone would have just locked myself out by now. The iPhone does not handle heat well at all. Okay, there's my keys. I almost lost my keys. They're just not in the hand they're normally in. But yeah, this fucking such stupid shit. Yeah, she hung up on me. But yeah, my case manager couldn't get me into my my socialsecurity.gov site. But yeah, that website, the Social Security thinks it's a good site. It's really not. It's very difficult for people, especially people with mental disabilities. And then they, on top of that, but she did manage to get now I had to pay for it out of my money off my debit card, but it's like $45 and I can do that. But she does have me a birth certificate ordered. So my birth certificate will be coming in the mail soon. So that's a really big problem that I did get solved with my case manager. So while I didn't make any progress on trying to get unemployment or trying to get SNAP benefits, at least I did successfully. I did get to Rob. I did get my driver's license replaced. I did get. Oh man, I thought I had more blood orange left than that. That's not much. I did get, oh, hey, Sheba Kitty. I did get, I got my driver's license back. I touched base with Rob. I got another fuse for my fan. I got my burritos, so I have 8, and I got an extra burrito I can put in the fridge so I can eat later. And it didn't turn to food poisoning in the hot car, so that's important because I'm always forgetting to eat. And I guess that's mostly all I did. I went through the zone. I didn't find my daughter, but I did find that one woman that I just keep seeing over and over. I want to talk to her, but I know she's going through some terrible stuff and she's terrified of people. But I do think she remembers that I pushed a guy that was fucking with her away from her. So anyway, thanks for coming with me on this journey. It's difficult times, but I do think things are looking up.